Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the February 4th, 2026 workshop and meeting for the Board of Town Trustees. Welcome everybody on Zoom as well. Dave is under the weather tonight, so I'll be taking his role as Mayor Pro Tem. And we've also, I think Jody is as well. And so, but Jody is on Zoom. So don't let me forget that she's on Zoom. So I do.
She's on Zoom.
I know. So I don't leave her out. So let's start off on the first discussion item for the workshop, which is discuss the draft sheriff IGA for law enforcement services. And just a caveat to that conversation would be that I'm going to have Dan speak in a moment. We did get insurance information or response from our insurance.
Yeah.
And you want to address that, Lex?
Yeah, we did speak with, we had multiple email correspondence with our property casualty insurance company, Sursa. And Dan and I met with them late last week. And they reviewed the language that we had proposed and what the county had proposed. They did say that, I mean, what the county counter proposed is very much hardcore in their favor and is actually worse than what we originally had. They kind of let us know how that county language is problematic, and not really in the favor of the municipality. And some of it they even said was unclear. The way it's written now, we would still have to get liability insurance, or there's a greater liability in the town the way that it's written, rather. And so, also in our packet, we didn't really get around to another draft of that. Dan and I have been kind of processing the information they sent us, and still working on that. I did include some of the county sheriff budget information that I said I would at the last meeting for something for the board to discuss. They want to discuss the amount tonight. But from there, I can let Dan take it.
No, I'm actually gonna make a couple comments before we do that. I just want to remind you all that this subject can be esoteric in a lot of ways. And an analogy would be like, I trust Henry when it comes to construction questions in that area, Landon when it comes to excavation and river work, Jesse when it comes to firefighting, Nathan when it comes to construction and,
firefighting,
infrastructure and firefighting. Jody when it comes to, I mean, she has so much experience in the public works issues, and also other areas. And I just happen to have expertise in law enforcement in that arena. So I would just ask you to, when I know, and I've been accused of making this personal, but again, I'm going to tell you out loud that I am looking at this in a very pragmatic, professional manner, because we all have to remember that our duty is to the people of the town of Lake City and to be responsible fiscal agents. So with that being said, I did a little bit of research, and just so you know, from 2007, which I have a lot of information on the sheriff's office at that time, the fees that are paid to the county by the town under the IGA have increased 400%. Now, albeit it's been 19 years, but I guarantee you that our revenues have not increased 400%. So just keep that in your mind. And the other thing I would direct you to, and if you hadn't, to review Colorado Revised Statutes 30-10-516, which indicates what the sheriff's duties are to the county. It makes no delineation between unincorporated and incorporated. And I will state one more time that the town of Lake City is located entirely in the county. So, keep that fact in mind. It's often overlooked, I think, at the county commissioner level, and it's not acknowledged. And I think it's really important. And the other thing that's not acknowledged that Dave has put forward to us all, is that we pay county taxes. And so we are, as a statutory town, actually providing support for the sheriff's office already. Okay. And let's see. And the other thing you see that little graph that is in our packet? Okay. I would urge you not to focus on the county budget. The county budget is not in our purview. Okay, just like our budget is not in their purview. Okay. I know you asked for tangible items, but here's the facts. No matter if the town of Lake City was here or not, if we were not here, they would still have dispatch fees. They would still have salaries to pay. They would still have vehicles to purchase. They would still have to purchase body cams. That's a state mandate. Another unfunded mandate, by the way. So I don't think that we should be specifically responsible for items that office is responsible for. That's their budget. That's their responsibility. And also they have a, responsibility to us as county residents as well. To be good fiscal agents regarding that. And also just make sure you look, and Cheyenne is spelled 2 E's, not an A. Or 3 E's, actually. That's okay. I just had to say that because I haven't been catching things lately. So I want you to know I'm on the ball. But look at what the other counties are paying that are similar to ours. And just keep that in your head as well. I don't know that we need to discuss until we get further details from Dan. I don't think we need to discuss another amount tonight, unless you really want to.
No, I think I want to hear from the attorney.
Yes,
I think that
I think he's next.
with everybody else not present and in person, I don't think we should discuss an amount this evening.
Henry.
I just wanted to say a couple things. One is that, the list of towns and counties she provided, I don't think is real relevant except for the one Creed. There's only 3 places in Colorado that have the unique properties that we have, being the only town in the county. All those other ones you listed besides Creed and Mineral County have other towns in their county. So probably some of those other towns actually pay into the
Or unless they have their own law enforcement.
sheriff's department. Yes. Well,
And so, because a lot of the towns have their own.
if you're really convinced of this thing that we're all Hinsdale County residents, we already pay taxes for it. If you guys are really convinced of that, then let's just forget about this whole thing.
Well, we are asking, I think we are asking for our ordinances to be enforced.
That's really that's the additional services that we're looking to pay for.
That's what I'd like to see is exactly what.
Do we have a
they-
list of them?
Yeah, I've provided them before. It is our OHV ordinances, the fire restrictions, which we automatically go into the same fire restrictions as the county, parking and abandonment of vehicles, and dog licensing.
That's it.
That's it.
That's in here.
No, we
I've
did
provided it
We've
before.
done it before. It's 4 total items.
Oh, okay.
That are
Above and,
unique-
above and beyond.
above and beyond that is unique to the town. Period.
Say that again, fire ordinance, like,
The OHV ordinances, which they mirror the county, but those apply within the jurisdiction of the town. The fire restrictions, to enforce fire restrictions when they're in place. The parking and abandonment of vehicles, like towing vehicles, dealing with abandoned vehicles, and dog licensing or the dog ordinances. Those are the only 4 unique things we're asking for to be enforced.
Above and beyond what's already in the law.
That is different, yeah.
all right, thank you.
Okay, so and then Dan, could you comment, please?
Yeah, sure. I think that it was a really good step having the sheriff. I appreciate him showing up last time. I know that he probably is not my biggest fan, but that's okay. I appreciate him showing up. I do think that what you said earlier, just like all you guys are able to vote for your county commissioners, you're able to vote for your sheriff. That's because you are county residents, and that county line item tax goes to fund everything. So you should expect the same services from your county commissioners and your sheriff as anyone who lives in the unincorporated portion of the county. That being said, I'd hope to have a little bit more information for you guys tonight. So I do think that the suggestion of kind of tabling this until we can hash through the insurance language would be good. And I was hoping that Sheriff Starks, I'm sorry if I messed his name up.
Darns.
Starnes, okay. I was hoping that we would have had a little bit more information of, here's what my cost is to put an officer or sheriff on duty or whatever he was going to provide. Since we haven't had that, I'd suggest that I'll work to get you guys a memo, kind of all my thoughts in one area, and we kind of table this. But I also don't want to, if you guys want to talk about it, I don't want to curtail your ability to do so. But I wish we had a little more information for you tonight. I'm not sure that rehashing the same stuff we have will get us too far.
I agree.
And then after Dan gets the liability language together, I would like us to send that back to CIRSA and see if we're still going to be required to carry liability insurance. They said that we could even, if we end up having to pay for liability insurance for a law enforcement officer, and we're not being guaranteed a full-time deputy, then they said but it has to be in the agreement of what is being provided, because we could get the part-time liability insurance, which is cheaper. But they said it depends on it says in the IGA and what is being provided. Like what are the terms within the IGA, and then also compare it to the liability language.
Well, I don't know how you feel about that, Dan, but I have a problem with specifying one.
Yeah, it seemed like the sheriff wasn't too excited about saying
Yeah,
here
no.
designated. I think FEL was the term he used. From the insurance perspective, if you contract for one full-time law enforcement officer, that is your liability. If your contract says half-time law enforcement, they will allow you to have a reduced one. If your contract says we're gonna take on the liability, and we're not really enforcing your ordinances, and say we don't want the dog, the OHV, the parking, and I forget the other one, then there are examples where our insurance carrier would say, okay, you don't need that coverage. The other coverage that they were really talking about was to the effect of if the sheriff goes to, let's say we pass a ridiculous ordinance that's completely unconstitutional, and you guys wouldn't do that, I wouldn't let you do it, but let's say we do that. There's some liability for the sheriff to say, I'm going to pass this ridiculous, or I'm going to enforce this ridiculous ordinance. That's outside of the law enforcement liability, is what they call it. That comes as a constitutional claim, and that would be covered under our SRSA. So even in that case, we wouldn't necessarily need it. So it's really nuanced. It is taking a little bit longer to hash out, but we want to make sure that you guys are covered, that the sheriff's covered, and that everyone's getting the services they deserve and that they've contracted for.
My question, Dan, would be, so we contract for to cover one FTE, full-time employee,
Well, no.
deputy, and say there's two that are involved in an incident. Does that liability insurance cover two? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's where the nuances come in like crazy. But I think as just a general starting point, what I heard from the sheriff was, "Hey, I'm not interested in dedicating one full one. So we need to figure out." It sounded like he was willing to provide us services, just not on a full-time employment. But again, speaking with them more than once would probably be helpful. So.
Land,
I was just gonna say, kind of like to put this to rest for this evening.
Yes.
I feel like we've beaten the bush enough without the information that would be coming. I feel like we're just gonna say the same thing we did last meeting. We have the numbers, we discussed it already, so I think that we should just move along for this evening.
I agree. Are we good?
And I don't know if you guys can see, but it looks like Trustee Lindsay had her hand up. So sorry to interrupt.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Jody, go ahead.
No, that's good. I agree with what everyone is saying. And I understand. I'm a little confused because it sort of sounds like when we talk about it that we don't actually want to do it. So I'm not quite sure what, I know we don't need to be all the way on one side or the other side, but how are we going to get to an agreement? And I want to point out, and I don't really want to talk anymore after this because, as you can tell, I'm having a difficulty talking. That as much as we've thought about how Lake City is completely surrounded by the county and that we are the county is also us. And I just want to make sure that we're being good partners with the county. And
I agree.
so that's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much. I appreciate
I agree, Jody.
One more thing. I just think it makes sense. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jesse.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Go ahead.
No, I apologize. Go.
Yeah, the county gets taxes from our town. We don't get taxes from the county. So, do we?
No.
No,
Yeah, so
that's true.
We get part of
I'm
the,
just pointing out the obvious.
Yeah.
And then, the town being the largest percentage of population, maybe the sheriff should go by the percentage of people in the town or the biggest population of the area. They patrol it with more deputies or whatever. I mean, it makes sense.
I don't think that's ever been an issue.
Yeah,
I think they provide what's
well,
necessary.
they're parked right in town here. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever been an issue.
Okay.
well, the county does pay us a portion of the sales taxes in the county. I mean, the property taxes in the county.
Well, the thing is the sales taxes, but we get a portion out of the county and they get a portion out of the town. That's kind of flip flop. The property taxes, we don't get any of their property taxes. All their property tax
No,
goes to them.
Okay, so.
That's true.
In the future, I really think it makes sense to list these 4 items in any IGA.
Okay. Like specifically the additional services we're asking for.
Yeah, I agree.
And what we're paying for.
Yes,
Okay.
If, I mean, at the $100,000 that it has worth, $90-something thousand, it's $24,000 additional thing at the moment.
okay.
But
Are we
yeah,
good? We good?
Yes.
Let's move on. Thank you, Dan, for that. Item number two on the, no, D,
Item
yeah.
number B.
Discuss the San Juan Estates proposed water use agreement. I think we should let Dan speak to this.
Sure. Thank you. Sorry. What you have is a draft water agreement, and I, of course, don't have it in front of me. I've read through it. It's prepared. It's largely acceptable. We do need to get some language in there, and I didn't have the Word version. It was sent to me in a PDF until I think yesterday, and unfortunately, I was in court all day. But we need to add some language in there that says, so essentially this is a contract to sell, I think, 7,500 gallons of water to a group of residents outside of the city limits, which is allowed to do. We need-
7,500 to 10,000, yes,
Per
Okay.
day.
per
Per
day.
day. Yeah.
Yeah. And what we need to do, and I've done this in other communities, is we don't want to obligate ourselves to produce that. So if their wells go down, sure, we want to be good neighbors. We want to help them. That's well within your purview if you want to do that. This contract allows you to do that. What we need is some safety provisions in there that say, to the extent there's a huge drought or a fire or water restriction, or we need more time for our wells to recharge, that the town can say, we're going to put our people first, and we're going to, whether you designate Lex or his designee to say, you can only pick up 2,000 gallons every 6 hours here, or whatever it is. We need to have those safeties built in so that you don't have town residents running without water. Other than that, the agreement does seem to look fine. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about it.
When,
Is there in this agreement, how would they collect the water, and are they gonna do it by standard versus with a potable water? Like, you can't use a water truck because technically it's not potable water once you put it in a water truck.
Yeah. We did go over this. They are going to have a certified water truck, a potable water truck. So, and in there too, once it leaves our system, we're saying that we're not liable. Like, we don't know what the condition of your potable water truck is, or the cistern that you're going to go put it in.
My question.
Yeah, I've actually discussed it with the operator, the water operator at San Juan Estates pretty extensively. I talked to Joanne about it and Ethan. At first they were saying like 30,000 gallons, and we're like, that's a lot, especially if you're trying to draw it all at once. How are you going to get this over here? And but then they were like, no, it's going to be more like 7,500, 10,000. And they would be making multiple trips. I mean, they're going to be.
What's their source of a fire hydrant?
Well, yeah, unless we have the water fill station up and running when they actually need it. This is like in their emergency backup plan, so
Yeah.
they know how to get water.
Yeah.
So, depending on what the situation is or what we have available, but yes, I mean, one of the options is from a fire hydrant, and we can meter it, or we can do it like, you have a 500-gallon tank. All right,
mhm.
we're going to log how many times you come today and then invoice.
And is there any liability of if them using it, messing up a fire,
Like, they messed up a fire hydrant. I don't have it in front of me either.
I just dug it out. That indemnification language we would obviously include in there with my revisions. I think that the base bones of this contract are good. We just need some safety measures for the town.
Yeah.
Jesse, go ahead.
Yes, when we drilled our well in Lake City Heights, a lot of wells are going dry now. We've had no problems, but we fracked our well. You know what fracking is? High pressure, and it cracks the rock around it, and you get more water. We were at half a gallon a minute, and we jumped up to 30 gallons a minute. And we have had no problems. And I want to know if they have fracked those wells up there before they start draining our water down.
It's that process to frack wells is financially a huge burden, and there's a lot of regulations against it anymore. I mean, it's changed.
Why would there be regulations against that? You're just following seams.
Yeah, there's different ways to do it. So, I mean, they used to throw dynamite down wells too. So,
Yeah, we did it with air pressure, so it was not so hot.
So anyway, there's still like, we're still need to hash out some of the language in there, like Dan said. Oh, sorry, Diane.
Go ahead, finish.
And we have gone back and forth at least with the engineer and Public Works, you know, we feel like that's doable in an emergency situation. And so, yeah, I just wanted y'all to be aware of it and think about it.
Interesting. I'm looking forward to the language that Dan adds. And Henry, go ahead.
Okay, well, you know, I'd say we certainly want to help these people out.
Yes.
You know, it's up, the Hinsdale County Planning Department did approve that subdivision with the provisions that there was enough water. And, you know, so that's something that maybe Hinsdale County should help out with.
Yeah.
That I don't know. I'd like to find out where the closest water main is, the closest fire hydrant that they could use. And I want everybody to think about the big picture, you know, as I've said before, eventually Vickers Ranch in San Juan Estates is going to be on the Lake City water system, and it may be 50 years in the future. And our next sewer plant is going to be down there by where he's working, you know? And so I think everybody should think about that. And if we really wanted to help these people out, we would think about maybe extending the water line a little bit and making it easier for them to access.
Yeah, I mean, that would be something that they would end up getting engineered and approved. And
Can you find out where the
I
closest?
think it's Balsam Drive, or it's like Balsam
Yeah.
to Rock Springs.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right.
if that's across the highway, yeah. And then I don't know if you continued it from the wastewater treatment plant
You would have,
straight north.
well.
Is the county yard on
With the
town?
old railroad grade, it goes right down there.
Yeah.
So that's privately owned, you'll have to, I mean, that's a
Yeah.
can of worms of easements and use by.
Yeah, there's a lot of design and engineering has to go in that and approvals.
You know, that's going to be the eventual solution.
Was the county yard on town?
Where,
Or
no, it doesn't.
and
It
so-
stops at the storage units up there.
And so the toy wash was not on count, was not on town?
No,
Okay,
no, it's the storage.
The county has 150 acre feet of water, augmentation water.
Mhm.
So if we were to step up the production of our wells or put in a new well to service these areas, then they should.
Yeah, I saw in the records, there was a proposal for a third well, but that well didn't test proper at all.
So they're on two wells?
The
we
town
are,
is-
or they are, yeah.
No, we were on two wells. The
Yes.
town is.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just saying that at one point there was discussion about a third well and a third tank,
But they are on two.
but
So
yeah. Yeah, that's something to keep in
maybe
mind.
they
Andrew.
go a little well.
Mayor,
my thought.
Go ahead.
I don't want to stir too much up, but something to keep in the back of your mind. And I wish I was down there all the time and I knew this area like the back of my hand, but not yet. A lot of times surrounding communities will want to annex to get things
Yeah.
like water utilities and stuff like that. And I don't know the dynamics there, but maybe that's a conversation that we start having if they're going to be reliant on our infrastructure. There may be some benefit to looking into annexation.
Is there something called the 3 mile rule?
Yeah, what you have is a 3 mile plan generally, and that says you can annex up to 3 miles in any direction so long as it's
And we actually have the right to annex north or south of town based on them being out of the city limits. There was a vote that,
Yeah, I mean, and the way those TAP applications back in the day worked is also saying that they were be willing to be annexed within the town, but I think in the 90s that changed.
no,
But even on the plans and stuff for like Wade's Edition, it says Town of Lake City as if, because the plan was to annex all that. And then it got turned down in a vote. But I say if we do expand the water and sewer, I would very
have
much
to-
recommend that we annex them and not have a system in which we have no control over.
Correct.
Outside of our boundaries.
Correct.
Yeah.
Henry,
It does say in the water agreement for people that are outside of the town of Lake City that are in part of the water district, that they could never oppose being annexed.
Yeah, Dan, you want to talk to that?
I have not looked at that annexation. There has been some case law that says usually what used to happen is you provide water services to whoever out in the county, and you do it contingent upon an agreement that says we'll be your attorney in fact, and we will not oppose an annexation if the city wants to. There's been some challenges to that. It's heavily fact dependent. And I don't want to get too far out of my skis without looking at those agreements. But if this is a consistent thing and you guys are talking about it, it might not be a bad idea to approach the homeowners. I mean, obviously the easiest way to do it is going to be have them petition for annexation. I don't know what the climate is there. I don't know if they're going to oppose that. But it is something to consider.
I know what the climate's like there, dry.
Unfortunately.
so maybe we can get some more information on that as time goes on.
Yeah, no, Dan will, put the needed language from the town's perspective in it.
Right, but also like now that it's been brought up, maybe we should look into that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can amend this agreement so that it protects you guys. I'll run it by Lex. I'll run it by their attorneys. Basically, what we're looking for is this is a possibility, an option, not an obligation, so it doesn't unnecessarily hinder or burden the town. But
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan.
and then I'll look over those annexation or whatever documents you have on those surrounding properties.
Yeah.
Perfect. We good? So let's move on to item C. Discuss Lake City Arts support request for the Youth Mountain Red Sky Drum Group. And I think that we should absolutely support them. They haven't asked for a specific way for us to do that. So I guess we can go, Henry, go ahead.
Well, I definitely think this is a good cause. Last year, I believe we gave $200 towards it, so that might be something to think about. And I tried to get this organized in August, and so they could be on our list when we did our budget. And I'm sorry that it wasn't. I do want to mention that Hinsdale County is giving $1,000 towards it, so, which you all pay taxes for, I know. But
Don't you
I just
forget
want to
it.
mention that. I do think it's a good cause, so
Yeah, I agree.
realize they should get it in every year during budget season.
I agree.
Yeah, and
Yes.
and that support could be like when they do bring them to the park to perform, we could, maybe we could waive the fee as a form of support.
Yes.
Or, that support I think can come in multiple ways besides just a cash donation.
I agree.
One more thing, it's scheduled for Colorado Day
Yes.
on August 1st.
Yes.
And there is money available. There's this, and I can't even pronounce it. It's the semi-sesquicentennial celebration of some sort. There's grant money. What?
Sesquicentennial.
There's great money for the celebration
Yeah.
for putting together stuff.
Semi-sesquicentennial stuff. I can't possibly, but I've got the paperwork. I'll bring it over.
Uh-huh.
And I think that the town should take part in this somehow, maybe have some speeches or something about the town history and because, it's not only celebrating the 150th
Colorado.
year of Colorado, but the 250th year of the United States.
Right.
And that's what that word, it means.
I know.
I can't.
250.
I mean, and like we need to know what we're applying, like, what are we gonna use the money for? So like, we would need to know, you know, like, okay, we plan on doing this and this and this. These are our community partners who are gonna participate. So there has to be some kind of planning done or agreement, at least on why we're applying for the funds and what we're gonna use those funds for.
So it costs $3,200 to pay the youths. And then about another, it's $250 for Linda to do this beading demonstration, which she does. So it comes out to about $3,500 for the pay to the youth. And in addition, we have to buy their meals and so we have to buy their meals and what's that?
In the rooms.
Baker, right?
Well, Deborah at the banner board is always
Okay.
their rooms for free. And Christy Hall also donates a house over there, so
Well, good for Deborah.
the
And the
moving
other.
board is free. So it's about $4,000 total.
So then that's what you're suggesting we apply for, is to pay for that, which would take place on the 150th anniversary of Colorado.
Good. That's
I
yeah.
mean, I know, like, so I'm gonna put this as a discussion item next meeting.
Yeah.
So that we can start talking about that.
Christine knows more about that than I do. She's already applied on behalf of the museum, I believe, for funds. So.
Well, let's let Lex get that information from you and let's do
I'm
that.
glad you think it's a worthy cause.
Yeah, I do.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's move on to another crazy item. Discuss ski hill well permit requirements. You all saw the fact sheet that Lex put in your packet. There's issues to consider. I think it's overwhelming to see that 1 foot deep snow would take 2,240,000 to 2.8,
gallons.
I'm sorry, gallons.
Yeah.
Of water to create. So I
How
think
many acre feet is the?
The ski hill's 14 skiable acres. It's in my little note there about the
Right.
ski hill well permit application.
That's a lot.
So
And
the first thing I want to say is why did you send out these letters and stuff before consulting me? Because I've already done all these calculations before. I've got it mapped out in your files, how many acres of snowmaking we were going to talk about. And
all that you
I
go
wish you would have could talk to me about it.
okay,
So anyway,
Henry,
go ahead.
does your information match this?
no, we have 6 acres is what I was talking about. And it's drawn in on the map over there. And I'm not sure how you came up with the 2 million. How many inches of snow were you talking?
On our website, we have the ski hill has 14 acres of skiable area.
Yes.
Okay, and so I was using that as an example, because if we just did the main run, it wouldn't be 14, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't get any definition or other guidance from the board about how many acre feet to apply for. Because we did apply for the ski hill, the well permit, but they came back with, well, you need to know if it's acre feet or not. If it's potable water and making snow, then you're going to have to get a court ordered or a court approved water augmentation in order to be able to do it. And then I was asking the Upper Gunnison River. I reached out to Beverly Richards to ask about our water rights with Lake St. Cristobal. And, you know, our water rights to that, the units that we own are specifically for our wells and our pipeline, like our water system and the water.
That's not true. When we did the Lake San Cristobal project and got our augmentation up there, we had an engineer calculate that it was 78 or 76 acre feet would supply the town of Lake City when it was all built out. We rounded that up to 80, and you'll see when you get that bill that we're paying for 90 acre feet. So there was 10 acre feet earmarked for the ski hill in that that first agreement when we did that. The lake originally did the Lake San Cristobal project. So we already have 10 acre feet of augmentation in Lake San Cristobal for this, where we picked up a well spot. There was witched by two different people that seemed to think there was good water there. It's about 40 feet from an underground stream that comes down. So I think the examples from across the street on the other side of the canyon are not.
Well, I mean, I've heard that one of the homeowners down at the base, they have two houses, and then one, I don't know which one exactly, but I've heard that one of them barely produces enough water for the little time that they're in town to be able to use it. So I mean, Henry, I'll be glad to look at that stuff. That's the kind of information we need. At least from what I found, nothing's earmarked. We would have to get some kind of plan to be able to use the water for the ski hill. But I'll be happy to look at whatever information you have when we try to go find that. And again, there are many places around here going dry. And we don't, and you say how many acre feet, but then what system are we using and how much does that pump, like whatever system we're using, how much does that pump? How much does it spray? You know, like there's definitely more information we need.
Okay, let's gather that. Let's get it, come together with that and bring it back.
And I'd like to take all this info to Davey Pitcher, and he has an engineer, water engineer that may come help us.
Okay.
And as I've said before, he's offered to help us for free.
Well, I mean, right now we need that help. And this is way outside the comprehension and understanding of staff. And I don't feel comfortable without it being an expert that's applying for it and designing it and making it happen.
I agree.
And I appreciate the work you did.
Landon?
I mean,
Landon?
Yeah, my only concern is the gallons per minute. Is so we have to figure out that at the mathematical rate, because a residential pump is only allowed to pump at 15 gallons a minute legally. So there's some things that we need to figure out.
Okay,
yeah.
let's
So
pool our
one more
resources.
question.
And we have a year we have 1 year to reply and answer these questions before we have to reply all over it.
So this one letter is a reply from the state?
Yeah, where they're asking, yes, upon the preliminary review, that part is where they came back with their application and they're asking these questions and they're telling us that if we apply for both, we have to get the court approved augmentation plan. And yeah, that's coming from the water division.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's gather that and we'll come back to that at some future meeting. Okay? Is it okay, Lex?
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks for the work you did, Lex.
Yep.
Thanks for the work I did too.
Well,
I need you to show me that work and show me where it is.
I've shown you before.
Yeah, I just saw the map of the grand plan, but it didn't have calculations. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
okay, so let's move on to E, which is discuss Camstrop AMI water metering system project cost estimate.
Yeah, so we did get a quote on the installation of that. We had reached out to two, but only one showed up to walk it and actually give us a quote. So Camstrop has just like the one official distributor for this area. And so there is no competitors providing it. They only have their official distributors. So there was no getting alternate quotes on that equipment. I do, I let me look at my notes. real quick.
Question, is this the water meter people that were here?
Yeah.
Presentation,
Yeah.
that have the good the leaks and all the.
Yeah, all the
Yeah,
modern
Yeah,
system. And I guess I didn't print that out, but anyways, I do have it on it,
Are you looking for what you sent
I'm,
us?
yeah, I'm looking for my actual report. Oh, there it is. It has everything in it. So yeah, and I was looking at the grants, and a lot of the grant requirements, they require like the community engagement, or they require like if there's been a previous planning effort. This is something that didn't come to our attention. The problem with the meters until after the improvements plan, so it's not in our capital improvements plan. And some of the like depending on what funding source we go to, they may require like a water efficiency plan, like a whole different plan. And I'm going to be reaching out to DOLA to see like, you know, if we amend our capital improvements plan with this clear need, then and we can back it up with like a project needs assessment of some kind, then can we just amend it and use that when we apply for grants? Like, hey, this is in this plan. It's in our capital improvements plan. I am going to reach out to the Water Now Alliance, who may be able to help fund or help us with a water efficiency plan if we need one.
That would be great.
And yeah, so but we're going to have to collect a lot of data too. There's a lot of technical analysis that has to go into those grant applications for a kind of water meter system. I recommend that we hire a third party to test the meters, the master meters and the wells for us. Because right now we're pumping and treating 20 million more gallons than we're actually billing or that's coming into the plant. So, I mean, 20 million gallons when we only billed for 3 million, you know, and it's really like 27 million or something that we pumped and only 3 million of it was actually billed. So there's a lot, either the meters are off themselves or there's a break in the water line in the river, or like the leak we just found, there's multiples of those. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, about the meters at the well. I don't think that the meters on the well could be 200 and some % over at 27 million versus a 3 million bill.
Hmm.
I think that that's problematic because that's per month. And so, I mean,
Yeah, that's,
we are way overdoing it.
But that's for 2 months. That's for like January, February.
Oh, yeah, January, February, okay.
But yeah.
15 million versus,
Yeah.
1.5 million. Yeah, you're not gonna run a meter that much unless it's completely inaccurate, which would be hard pressed. What I think is, it has to be leaks consistently. I mean, we have old valves and stuff, but like the water leak we found today, that didn't just happen overnight. That's an
No.
automatic thing that's been building forever.
Right.
It's like, that alone in itself is lots of water. So I feel like we have a lot of those issues. And I think that our meters, that's why I was gonna say, I like these meters that have the leak detection. I think that if it has that, that's from the house back and then it doesn't help our mains.
It
Really.
does help our mains. It'll
Yeah,
detect leaks
yeah.
from one service, like a leak in the main between two services.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Yeah.
that would help isolate because at
Yeah.
this point, at 30 million gallons every 2 months,
I
it's
agree.
like
Yeah, we've already discussed that.
wild
Yeah, it is wild.
for the last
What-
7-10 years.
They've been kicking the can down the town has, or the water.
We've already discussed that we need those,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the need for the data for the applications.
Totally.
So, and then we would also take some of the old brass meters we have and get those bench tested somewhere to see how accurately they're recording or not. But there has to be a technical analysis within the grant applications. There is absolutely less money out there for this kind of stuff. Water Smart at the federal level is not being funded this year. And the grant cycle that DOLA announced at the beginning of the year, it's not nearly as much money as it has been in the past. It's way more competitive. They're only going to fund projects that are project ready and that have matching funds already like identified. So there's just a lot of legwork that's going to go into this. It's nothing that's going to happen quickly. And really this year would be about gathering data and getting our application together properly.
Yeah, and I think it's extremely important.
Okay, me too.
I think that I just wanted to say that should be our first priority.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's,
But like before we did anything with like, I mean, we can do our homework on the ski hill well permit, but that takes priority and that's gonna take a lot of staff capacity.
I mean, just even for, we were talking about extending or annexing.
I
and
didn't
stuff
mean
like that.
that.
But if we have a future plan of extending wells or a third well or anything, our infrastructure in the town, I mean, that is a terrible ratio.
Yes.
Yeah,
Our pumps are, I mean, I get, we have rated pumps that are great, but our pumps are old,
yeah,
working literally 10 times as much as they should.
yeah.
And so that 10 times the shortage of the life. So I think that this, kind of goes hand in hand with our sewer project that are in and are almost doing great on. And, but I think this was like our number one priority infrastructure wise, because that's
I agree.
terrible. Because if we could have main breaks like we did yesterday, and it could be problematic.
But and then that volume, yeah, I just hope it's not a river crossing. It's like even the one over there, yes, that's probably been leaking for a long time, but it got to a point where it was gushing,
Yeah.
and so there may be multiples of those. But that amount of water escaping and not no one noticing it or not surfacing somewhere, would make you think that it's could be a one of the water crossings.
I mean, if it's pressurized, it comes up, but if it subsides, but you would think that we'd have some kind of shift somewhere in some
Right.
structural piece.
Right.
Right.
If it's underwater, that's another,
Yeah.
that's problematic.
It's,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. So there's just more research that needs to be done. I was also going to say there's a company called Metron, which is out of Colorado. It offers a similar system. The town of Fraser and the town of Silas, I believe. They're using the Metron system, and they have just received funding over the past couple of years to replace their entire system as well. One of them was just their failing ones, which is like half their system. But there is another option that has the same kind of functionality. So I was considering just sending them, hey, this is all the equipment we would need. What would that cost us to see what we get back?
That wouldn't hurt.
Because I mean, and they're definitely looking at the town of Fraser's application for Water Smart last year. They were using Metron, and their meters were like $80 to $100 cheaper than what Camstrap is, and supposedly they do the same.
Do they have leak detection?
Okay.
Yeah, I have all that.
Do they run off a service or a network or?
Yeah, it's similar to, I need to actually ask for all the software stuff, but they do say they offer that. I don't know what it is in comparison to Camstrap.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good idea, Lex.
So the ones that are under the river, the pipes, they're physically under the river.
They cross under the river. There's also been other river projects, like, cross main structures and stuff that have been put in. They weren't relatively close.
Can
But,
they ever put them underneath a bridge? So it's not under the water.
I mean, don't we have one going under the Water Street Bridge?
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering. Can we
But
put
you would
more?
know, it's,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just got to butt in. I'm not raising my hand or anything. Yes, there are two water lines that go under the river. One goes under Henson Creek and one goes by the Med Center under the Lake Fork of the Gunnison. There is a line that that goes under the 8.5 Street Bridge, but it's been, as Landon says, very problematic. So it's less likely to freeze and less likely to break under the water. But if it breaks, you don't find it. So
Right.
You don't see the water like you would under the bridge.
Okay,
We dye testing
Okay.
it. We thought about dye testing it.
No.
I mean, they do that stuff all the time.
that's
I can
interesting.
ask Joanne about a dye test to see if it comes out in the
Yeah.
river.
Yeah,
I'll ask Joanne about
I
it.
like that. Henry,
I thought there was a third one down by Wade's Addition
that's Henson Creek.
that we put in to get some redundancy.
I do not know. I'll have to look. I don't know. off the top of my head.
Okay,
Water
got some work to do. All right, moving on. Item F, discuss T-Mobile cell tower proposal on town land.
So
And
really-
I just want to say that I am totally opposed to them putting it in the ball field.
Especially a 50 by 50.
Yeah.
That would take up a lot of that park. Put a lot of it out of action.
Okay.
They just want to know if we're interested in discussion with them. They had originally proposed ball field because looking on a map, it looked like they could fit one there.
But that's not, that wouldn't be a perfect, hang on. That wouldn't be a perfect spot. Because
Being in-
yeah, wouldn't it be better for them to be high?
Yeah, I was thinking.
I'm not a telecommunications engineer, but that is where the helicopters land.
Yeah.
Correct.
And it's supposed to remain a park, even though we do have like a little siren system there.
Correct.
I doubt anybody that lived around it would want it either.
No.
Round top?
That's not, that we don't own that. That's BLM. We lease it from
What
the
about
BLM.
the land behind where the antennas are right up here, that little saddle? That kind, you'd come up the road there.
The water tower?
Yeah, behind the water tower this way. I don't know. Is that town property?
It's not. I don't think so.
No.
It's probably be a
I think it's BLM.
So, I mean, they had called, I think 3 years ago. I talked to them and they were asking about where they could be or what zones can it be in, where's a good place. Then I think they talked to ComNet, who owns the tower up here, and about extending it, like, and I don't know where that went. I guess I didn't go anywhere with them adding on to their existing tower. So they circled back with us to ask if we're interested in entering into any agreement. Should I tell them that we're interested or not?
No. Not
An
interested.
additional cell tower somewhere on town land. It'd be $1,200 a month they're willing to pay us.
Where,
That sounds
where they
very
can
little.
buy the
We,
property.
we also,
No, they're going to rent the property.
And did they suggest a location?
Ball field, the ball field, the Memorial Park.
Memorial Park? Oh,
Yeah.
I think it's all flats.
Really quickly, Lyndon, go ahead.
there is a piece of land on the top of the hill over there on Water Street that we own.
And where the water tank is?
No, not where the water, right next to Jesse's house.
Well,
It's actually right next to Judge McDonald's house.
Oh, never mind. I
That's a
don't,
vacant-
I just don't see that being a workable solution.
and everybody?
I don't.
My service works fine.
We have a consensus.
I need
Yeah,
to think about this a lot more.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think Memorial Park's a good location.
no, it's not.
No.
All right, that's, I mean, we can discuss it with them, but I don't know that it's.
I don't know.
No,
There's not really a good location that we own, in my
Right.
opinion.
the only other one is up there. but-
Okay, let's move on to the draft ordinance regarding water and sewer deposit amendment. This is a good move, I think. Go ahead, Lex.
Nothing. This is the draft that I said that we would do. It provides for the option for a customer to be refunded their deposit after they've paid their bill for 6 months consecutively on time and upon submitting personally identifying information to the town so that we are able to
Collect that.
collect debt if we need to.
And this makes a lot more sense.
That way we can either hold on to the money or and if they paid the bill on time, they can come get their money. And they just have to give us
Information to where if they don't pay their bill, we can address that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
How much is the deposit?
$500.
I want my money back.
So if y'all are okay with the draft and with the language that's in it, then we'll have it as an action item at the next meeting.
You're here.
Perfect.
All right.
Item H, discuss draft ordinance amending section 23-5 permitting short-term rental fees by resolution.
Yep.
This is an administrative correction. The language should have been in there to begin with. It is just a formal way of codifying that it needs to be in the
Yeah.
ordinance.
It doesn't change any of the terms or anything.
It doesn't change the term. And it doesn't say, I know some people in town were panicking, thinking that we were going to automatically increase
No,
the fees.
this has nothing to do with.
We are not, right.
Please make that abundantly clear. Anyone listening, we are not raising fees with this ordinance. we're simply correcting or amending an ordinance so that everyone knows that in the fee schedule that we pass every year is where the fees will be, which is where they currently are anyway.
Right.
And we're not increasing.
This is a no-brainer. Go ahead, Ernie. Henry.
It only applies to the residential districts, right?
The fees.
It's for the short-term rental permits.
Yeah, the permit, like everyone's required to have the permit.
Even
Except-
if they're in the business district.
There, but it doesn't mean there's a permit fee associated with it. Only the residential short-term rentals pay a permit fee every year. The other ones pay a business license fee.
The lodge.
And then there's an application fee, but that's a one-time thing when they apply.
Okay.
And
Here.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm going to throw your attorney under the bus. He should have included that. I don't know why he didn't. But any fee change in the future that is contemplated is still going to go through the resolution process. It's going to be done at an open meeting. You'll have your constituents will be able to see it. It's not going to be done by Lex and at midnight. So I know that it's scary language, but it's still going to go through the public process, and you still have those safe checks.
Yep.
And
And
sorry
Lex,
that I forgot to put it in there.
I was wondering, did this need to be an action item tonight?
No, I'm one to get out of the habit of us considering the first draft of an ordinance the same day that we read it. in
Okay.
workshop.
All right, so next time.
Here.
Okay, are we good?
Here.
Next item is discuss JT Stratton tree removal request on Ensign Street. And,
Thought I would get some.
oh, yay.
Y'all asked for Ben's opinion.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually went by there as well. I think several of us did. I know Dave did. And that, it's crazy. The way these trees are like right all the way across the front of the property where he has no access.
The Volvo might just.
Landon.
Yeah, so when you get these, I wrote keep and keep with an arrow. This one's really hard to see, but it's the one with the little sign on it. The rest of them are twigs, leaning twigs.
Yes.
Good to go.
What?
Two.
He's got-
This one with a sign on Henry.
The one at the very bottom left.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
I would like to know what JT Stratton wants.
That's what he
He
said.
may want one less than me. But they're fairly straight trees, and if you get rid of the rest of them, they might bush out nicely at the
That
top.
one in the center is kind of back towards closer to his land.
Yeah, behind the trailer there.
Well, let's just see how that works out. And, you know, if we decide to say, let's keep those two, if at some point
Did anyone else online lose audio and video?
That was me. I lost it.
Okay.
I lost everything except you guys.
Okay.
Must
It
be on
your
their
end.
end.
Thank you. I just want to make sure I wasn't going crazy.
Well, one does not preclude the other.
Crazier.
I thought my Bluetooth ran out.
Yeah, it looks like
No.
that might have dropped off.
It's those commissioners. It's because Diane's in charge. That must be. She's
I'll
getting
text
picked on
Lex.
by God.
Okay, that'd be great.
So I texted Lex and Diane, and they both said delivered, but neither one responded. So I bet they're working on getting it back up. I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Thanks, Dan.
Lex just responded and said the internet went out. So I don't know what they can do about that, but that's the update I got.
Does that mean we get the rest of the night off?
I think so. Engaged to wait versus waiting to be engaged. I don't know how that works.
I'm sorry, Dan. I only heard half of that. Can you repeat what you said?
Uh, yeah, Landon just called me and said that they lost Wi-Fi. Yep, Landon, thank you. Sorry about that. They lost Wi-Fi. They're trying to get it back, and they'll let us know if they get it back.
That's so weird. All the rest of us are still on, though.
Yeah.
Zoom
Huh.
doesn't throw you off if the host leaves unless it's set up that way. So the Zoom is still good even though Lex isn't there.
Huh. I guess I've never seen that before. But
I just figured you guys' whole town would go out if it went out.
no,
Sometimes.
there's been intermittent. I lost my internet here at home for about half hour earlier today.
Ah,
So don't know. Well, I'll hang on.
okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hang out just in case something comes up. And then I'll interrupt everyone else's night and give you updates if I hear anything to the extent you guys want to stay around.
Yeah, I'll hang around. They're probably taking their break between the two meetings.
Oh yeah, good call.
All right, we had a temporary internet outage, but we are back. And yeah,
Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. Ben, so you've identified the two. I think that's a good plan. And I think it isn't an action item tonight.
It is an action item.
I said it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I think so. We both heard you wrong, sorry.
Oh, yeah, Dan. And then also, we're gonna figure out a way to get them removed other than utilizing our tree service.
Right, we'll see if we can do it with the backhoe. Yeah, so now my next question is, do I have rain over the entire patch?
Yes.
Because they're all in a giant cluster.
Yes.
Okay. Because we had done trimming on the med center side of the street too at one point, trying to thin them out. They looked exactly the same. That's been a few years ago.
I think you should tell him that if he wants us to pay for it, we should be in 2027.
Yeah, I'll tell him that if I see him. I may have told him that already. I can't remember.
I trust Ben to work this out, and I don't think we need to be involved anymore.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
three trimmers, their truck broke down when they were here, I think last week. So they had a couple days in. They still owe us, I think, 3 days, maybe 4. But they have other stuff that they have to do, the front of the school, the Nichols house, different things like that. So, and he'd have to move all of his stuff, and I can't see it happening in the wintertime. So I don't think there's any way, if it's tree trimmer money, we won't get to this until 2027. But we can thin some this summer.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So at this point, that was the last item on the workshop. You guys need another 5?
I do.
Okay. Or you want to make it 10?
Sure.
Let's make it 10.
Yeah, we're gonna take a 12-minute break at 7:12 p.m.
A 10-minute break.
12-minute break? No, it's 7:12, and in 10 minutes we'll be back at 7:22. Right?
You're not in charge.
No, I'm sorry. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Diane.
That's fine, Lex. See you guys in a couple.
All right.
Good evening. I'd like to call the regular meeting of February 4th, 2026 of the Board of Trustees to order at 7:22 p.m. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Bruce,
Here.
Kendall, here. Lindsay,
Well, I'm here, but I'm also there.
all right. Wintery, here. Woods,
Here.
Weist, here. And Roberts.
So if you would notate on the minutes
Yeah.
that Jody was on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need an approval of the agenda for the regular meeting for February 4th, 2026.
I make a motion to approve the regular meeting for February 4th, 2026.
Roll call.
Bruce,
Yes.
Kendall, yes. Lindsay,
Yes.
Yes.
Woods,
Yes,
Weist, yes.
Everyone's reviewed the minutes from the January 21st, 2026 meeting. I'm looking for a motion for the approval.
I
of
make a
those
motion to approve the minutes of 1-21-26. Second.
Roll call.
Bruce,
Yes.
Kendall,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
yes. Woods,
yes,
Weist, yes.
And item F, the bills payable, if everyone reviewed those. I was kind of happy to see that the employee housing bathroom has been worked on.
Yeah, much needed.
Where do you,
And the fire protection systems,
71.
for the Armory apartment?
Yes, it's for the fire suppression system for the armory apartment.
Is that a payment or a,
It's a second payment. We already paid the majority of it in or already in 1st of January.
okay,
They're gonna wait till we tap the building in with the extra service line, and then they'll connect it from the boiler room to up there. All I
Okay.
gotta do is the rest of the work in here and they're done.
awesome. Does anyone else have any
No.
questions?
Make motion to pay the bill for February 4th, 2026 in the total amount of $23,371.51.
Second,
Ms. Kendall, yeah,
That was a surprisingly small bill.
Roll call vote, please.
Bruce.
Yes.
Kendall,
Yes.
Lindsay,
yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Weist.
Yes.
Okay, any citizen comments on matters not on the agenda? We do not have anyone physically present, but we have people on Zoom. Anyone wishing to make a comment? See anybody? No? Okay, no comments. Employee reports. Joanne, is Joanne with us tonight?
Yes.
Oh, hi, Joanne. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you,
Hello?
Joanne.
Here we go.
Turn up the volume a little. Um, not a lot happening. Hopefully they're gonna start making some progress on the building next week. And the electrician comes a couple of times a week and keeps plugging along. And other than that, we're still working on submittals and hoping we can start in about a month and a half.
Sounds good. Thanks for coming, Joanne.
Oh, you're welcome. Any questions for me?
Don't see any.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Have a good evening.
You too. The building official report, Gabe's report is in our packet. Anyone have any questions?
No.
That's a good report. Public Works.
Parks and Recreation.
I'm sorry, Parks and Recreation report.
You know, my report.
Yes.
If you have any more questions besides trees?
No snow.
No snow.
No weeds.
No weeds.
County apple tree.
We good?
All good.
Ice Fest is this Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay.
Did the Packers and them get are they
Yeah.
for their thing?
Yeah.
All good?
Yes.
Perfect.
That'll be nice. Okay, moving on to the Public Works report. Ethan, sorry. Got you confused.
Get up.
Do you have anything to add to your written?
Nothing to add to the written. Long day today, had a major leak of the ball pads. We heard.
Yeah, and so you mitigated it. You got it done.
Yeah, it's,
All fixed?
Little caulk and duct tape.
yeah, just a little bit.
Ethan, I'm sorry, was that a freeze and break?
No, it was
Can
right
you
at
tell?
yeah, honestly,
Can you speak up, please?
Yeah.
after a little bit more investigation, it seems as if that has been leaking quite a while. It's pretty washed out in multiple spots of the pipe. Why it's surfaced now? Yeah, so that was probably one of our leaks.
Yeah. One of the big ones, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll find out.
It goes down 1 million gallons.
Yeah, there was an old galvanized junction or Yeah, and it had, and yeah, and there was Schedule 40 pipe in there that also,
Yeah.
that failed as well. And so that's what it was from.
Every time we.
Ethan, good job.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Thanks, Ethan.
Thanks for your part.
Thanks for coming.
Barely made it, but.
No, just in time,
Go get
just a
some
minute of
rest.
time.
Right.
Now get out of here.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay, the town clerk, treasurer report, Christina's report. As usual. It is spot on. And she's been doing a lot of work on the ice wall marketing. Which is great.
Amazing, it's been 18 years. We started.
Since the ice wall?
What?
I mean, 18 years from,
18 years. It's the 18th annual Ice Climb Festival.
has it been that long?
Really? No.
No.
That's what it says right here.
Well,
Oh, wait a minute.
we donated a pump less than 10 years,
Yeah.
and that was the first one. So,
No, they used to do the water tower.
Yeah, they just did it out of the water tower.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I helped install that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Years ago?
I would say
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
2010, 12.
Well, so I think they were doing it with a hose. And the town finally was like, okay, let's put in a little pump here, with a meter and we can keep track of what's going on. And it was just right there, Pump House Park. And, yeah, that sounds about right. That's when I would have been in the department, so. Working for
Wow,
Rob Freeze.
that's amazing. It just seems like, it doesn't seem that long ago.
Well, maybe with the hose for a lot of years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Jody. Town manager.
Yep, y'all have my report. Two big pieces of it was earlier in the workshop. I started working on the 2025 audit and doing the journal entries for that. And we finished all the payroll and 1099 year-end reporting to the state and to the feds, as well as issuing the W-2s and 1099s. I want to remind everybody that there is a joint workshop next Wednesday at 5 p.m. in this room. So next Wednesday at 5 p.m. will be a joint housing workshop with the county commissioners. And yeah. And then depending on how this conversation goes with the housing and the plan, I'm considering doing my capstone project for the CPM course around some aspect of the housing plan, because it's supposed to be something where not only my employer approves of it, but the school does too. And it's supposed to be a plan that we can immediately put into action.
I like it.
But I mean, that's all I have.
Perfect.
Any update on Willie?
Willie will be going to the doctor in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll be getting released on light duty. Hopefully.
Okay. Any other questions? We're good? The legal update from Dan, but I think we already put a ton of things on his plate.
Yeah, you guys heard me talk more than you probably wanted to, so I don't have anything to update, but I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
True.
Not true.
Not true. I could talk to him all day.
Thank you, guys.
Stan?
Okay, so mayor and trustee reports. I don't have a report, but I just want to say that there's a MAC committee meeting tomorrow, the multi-agency with the emergency manager, Bill Graham from the county. I am not going to be able to attend. It's from 9 to 11 at the medical center. So if one of you guys wants to go, you're welcome to go.
Those goes.
Is that tomorrow?
Yeah, from 9 to 11.
I will be working.
I don't think there's anything pressing on the agenda. But, and it's scheduled for 2 hours, but he said it may not even take that long. But I had a previous commitment when this was announced, so. Okay, anyone else have a report, Landon?
Do I?
Do you?
No.
Henry?
I'm cool still.
I'm good. I just wanted to
Just-
snow.
I know. Jesse, anything?
Do a snow dance.
Nathan? Jody? You have a report, honey?
No.
Okay, we are good. So we can move on to correspondence received.
We have one?
No, there's no correspondence received outside of what was already included in the workshop. Okay.
Okay. So we will move on to the action items for tonight. The first one is discussion of possible action to approve or approve with conditions or deny JT Stratton's request to remove the trees in the right of way of Henson Street on block 22, lots 5 and 6. We had a good discussion on that.
So moved.
So moved, which one?
I make a motion to approve with the condition of the oversight of Ben Hague to remove JT Stratton's trees at his request.
And the other,
Actually, they're the town of Lake City's trees
Oh, yeah, Town of Lake City trees.
in front of JT Stratton's property.
With keeping the ones, the decent ones.
Yeah, but.
No, that's the oversight, I guess it's.
I'm sorry,
Jody?
did we figure out who would be doing the removal and who would be paying for it?
Yes.
The Ben's gonna work that out with him. He's thinking that if he moves his stuff, and I imagine Goose Miller also moves his stuff, that we may be able to push some of them down with a backhoe. If they require actual tree trimming, that's not gonna be in the budget for this year, and then, Ben will work that out with JT as well.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So we have a motion. I need a second.
Second.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Waste, entering.
Hey,
I know.
Please repeat the motion, please. I'm not exactly.
The motion is to
Aye.
approve the removal of the trees in the right of way of Henson Street on block 22, lots 5 and 6, under the direction of Ben Hague.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that good?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call vote.
Bruce,
Yes.
Kendall,
yes.
Lindsay,
yes,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Motion passes. Unanimously. The second action item is discussion and possible action to approve ordinance 2026-01, amending the penalty provision to limit penalties imposed for non-felony criminal violations. We had a discussion about this in a previous meeting. And this comes down from the state, and it mirrors the decision that was wrought. I can't remember the name of the case. I don't have it right in front of me.
It's a camp decision.
What?
Which one?
It's the camp decision.
That's correct. I just found it.
Sorry.
People v. Camp, yes. And it just brings us into compliance with that requirement.
So moved.
Second.
That's Kendall second.
Roll call.
Bruce,
Yes.
Kendall,
Yes.
Lindsay,
yes.
yes, Woods,
Yes.
East.
Yes.
I would entertain a
I make a
motion.
motion to adjourn.
And I thank you all for coming tonight, and I will adjourn this meeting at 7:39 PM.